What's up, everybody? CALLOUS Invitational 7 main event live narration time. It's Fakes, it's Star Master. We're in round 1. This is a heavy-duty pairing, and the predictions on this one, understandably, quite divided. We've got Fakes on the bottom and Star Master on the top. They're not wasting any time in this live narration, and so far, it doesn't really tell us much of anything on either side. Very well could be two balance-ish TSS squads, one for each of them. So they both have 2 layers of spikes down as Gengar comes in for Fakes. Protect, Will-O-Wisp, standard fare. Most Gars do have that, but not all of them. And he's going to let the Will-O-Wisp connect. In exchange, it is layer number 3 of spikes, so 1 layer advantage for Star Master as he goes to Bliss here. Good old Skarm Bliss, nothing abnormal. Fakes knew that there would be some kind of switch, so he goes for Will-O-Wisp again, generically safe. And Blissy's going to be burned. It's not a boom, nor does Star scout for a boom. Just goes for aromatherapy, removing not only its own burn, but more importantly the Skarm burn. And in comes a Claydol, taking a 25% neutral flamethrower. Based on lefties, the doll is faster, as we see here, and it is an EQ and crunch exchange, but doll with the better end here. And he switches it up for Shadow Ball, anticipating that Gengar would come in. Good play for both of them. Fakes there playing around both Earthquake and Rapid Spin, but Star Master anticipates that and goes for Ball. Would have been a really high-level play had Fakes just stayed in and killed the doll there, but it's very hard to do. And Will-O-Wisp connects with Blissey again. Not going to play around Taunt. It is the immediate soft-boiled, so Bliss relatively healthy again at 2/3. Swampert comes in for Fakes for the first time. There's the pullback to Skarm, and it is a Surf critical hit for 53%. So it does indeed look like balanced TSS squads. Nothing too out of the ordinary for either player. And we'll see how it goes. Surf for 30. And Roar doesn't show anything new, but it is something that does not threaten the opposing Skarmory, which obviously Star is going to be happy about given how low his Skarm is. Drill Peck there, 8%, lack of something better to do, and Roar is going to bring out Blissey, so not identical teams by any means, but certainly similar teams for these two players. We end up Bliss on Bliss, and Star dips into the red briefly with the sand. Lefty's out of it, ends up at 23. And, of course, soft-boiled, which Fakes can't punish. He simply goes for his own soft-boiled. There is still the spikes advantage, favoring Star Master. Interesting that Fakes, when he had the Skarm on Skarm, did not opt to get a 3rd layer down, but he was drill-pecking repeatedly, not wanting to let Claydol possibly come in for free from Star, which makes a lot of sense to me. And now the nurses are going to S-toss each other, which is obviously a go-nowhere proposition. It can never crit. It has no added effect. They could soft-boil to negate 3 seismic tosses and change at once. Obviously, this goes nowhere, but perhaps eventually one will switch. Fakes reveals that he is Wish Bliss, actually, so he could try to pass that somewhere. Swampert going to be the intended target. Star switches it up to Ice Beam there in case he had tried to pass it to Gengar. Seismic Toss would not do the trick, but Ice Beam would. But of course, Fakes is not going to walk into that. And here is Roar bringing out Claydol, which is probably not the ideal thing to bring out. He's going to get lefties, and he's going to get a Rapid Spin off, but he's going to stay in and serve, and down goes the doll. So critically, not only is it a Mons advantage for Fakes, but Star Master, any future spikes that Fakes manages to establish, Star is not going to be able to remove. So the first knockout of the series and the first pause of the series here on turn 30 as we wait. 6-5 advantage, like I said, very divided predictions. Not clear who you guys think is going to win this, and that makes plenty of sense. This is arguably the best pairing. It's certainly one of the best pairings of this opening round. A tough matchup for both guys. Fake's not at all afraid to play against the best players. He's very much a give me anybody, I can beat anybody. Hell, he doesn't even want to play against the low-end guys. He specifically wants to play against the highest level competition, and I love that about him. That's a great attitude to have. And Star Master, as we've talked about, remarkable CALLOUS Invitational record. 4 years in a row, he finished 3rd, 7th/8th, top 6, top 6. 4 years in a row. 4 years straight, he was better than the top 10 every single year. He was top 8 or better every year. 4 years in a row. That is amazing. And in fact has never been done by anyone else. I was going to call him one of the most consistent players in CI. You can argue your measure of consistency. Obviously, Linear has an argument, H-Cloud has an argument, what have you. But Star did it 4 years in a row, top 8 or better every time. That's a feat that has never, and since this is the last CI, will never be duplicated. Now, granted, Star did go out last year with the shocking 0-2 exit, by far the worst CALLOUS Invitational that he's ever had, but looking to bounce back from it this year. Right now, Suicune, 2 boosts at the moment, giving Fakes a lot of headaches, and he's going to fodder off T-Tar here. His team apparently is very Suicune weak. What's the plan? He could fling a T-Wave at it, but it can just rest. And full power kicks in, sure, but I guess the play is once it rests, the Skarm or something with Roar or the Swampert is going to come in and roar it away. But that is a temporary solution to a permanent problem. Fakes' team definitely seems a bit weak to Suicune here. At least it is not Crocoon, so this will deal with the problem temporarily. He kills both sleep turns, and there is the Roar. Fakes is going to reestablish a layer of spikes that Star almost certainly can't remove. It's not going to be second spinner in the back. So 3 layers to 1. Yet to be determined if Fakes has a spinner. Looking like not. He probably just has like an Arrow or a Mence or a Meta or something like that in the back. I think there would have been opportunities already if it were a Starmie or a Doll to come in and do its thing. And Fakes is going to prioritize setting up 3 layers of spikes. Perfectly understandable as far as I'm concerned. So there it is, 3 layers for both players that presumably neither one can remove at this point. But they do both still have it unrevealed. I think you could probably take an educated guess in either case, though. Like, it could just be Dugtrio for Star, for example. And like I said, Mence, Arrow, Meta, something to that effect for Fakes would be my guess. Back to the action. Bliss on Bliss briefly. S-Toss, or sorry, Seismic... I was going to say Seismic Toss twice. How about Soft Boiled on a switch as Meta comes in? There is Meteor Mash. No miss, no raise. Just a normal mash. Protect. And he switches it up to Rock Slide, trying to get a flinch. Fair enough, nothing wrong with that. And they both gain some more lefties. Rock Slide again, 21%. No flinch, however. And Roar does not reveal new information. It does bring Bliss out again. She steps on Spike. She's at about half. And apparently the best switch they both have to Blissey is Blissey, which is a bit awkward when they have 3 layers down each, and neither one is Toxic Bliss. But there is the Dugtrio that I predicted it might be for Star Master. Fakes apparently not as good at reading teams as I am. I predicted that would be there. He didn't know it would be there, apparently. And he's going to go for Wish. And that's it. Bliss goes down. Star Master dropped the first poke, but has since knocked out the next 2 and has taken the 5-4 lead in this game. Here comes the Gengar punish, and it's going to get Wish at the end of the turn. So Fakes turns a bad situation. Still not a good situation, but he gets something out of it. And it did have Boom all along. It had the opportunity to do that way earlier in the battle and simply didn't, but it did have Explosion all along. So there you go. There's Boom. Bliss goes down. Leaves us in a 4-3, unrevealed for Fakes, is now known to be Mence. So I was correct about what the last is for both pokes. Thank you very much. And here comes Salamence going for the DD. Immediately roared away, however, bringing out Skarm again. And we've got a pause in what has generally been a pretty fast-paced game 1. Surf comes up well short, and Roar... unlucky again. He keeps getting the Skarm. He really wants to get... I mean, the Dugtrio is the ideal thing, but the Meta would be acceptable as well. But the Skarm is not where he wants to be. Any chip he can get on it matters, but man, it keeps getting lefties, and there's Protect for more lefties. It's going to make life difficult for a DD Mence there. Rock Slide, just in case he'd gone for Roar, try to get some chip, try to get a flinch, what have you. He's going to go for it again. And no flinch on this Rock Slide either. Roar is going to prompt out Swampert. We know it has Surf rather than Hydro Pump. That could matter in this case. Currently not in Torrent range. It's only going to really matter against the Skarm and the Meta. Obviously, Surf and Hydro Pump are both bad against Coon. And obviously, either one at this point, especially with the spikes, would kill the Dugtrio. So, only matters against the steals. We'll see if it comes up. That is an incorrect protect for Fakes, letting the Suicune in for free. The Waters staring each other down, both at about half health here, and they both have Roar. But if they both click Roar, then the one that's faster, which is obviously the Suicune, gets to do it, and the other one does nothing. So there's the mind game here of, from Fakes' end, do I just Roar? What if he roars? If he's going to roar me anyway, do I just Earthquake? Am I dumb if I Earthquake him and then he Calm Minds up? That's even worse. Back and forth, back and forth. I'm surprised that he makes this play. I kind of thought he was obligated to Earthquake there, but this is going to work out fine. Salamence can take the serve, no issue, 15%. And he's going to attack, thinking he's about to be roared out, and he's correct this time. So putting meaningful chip on Suicune, it's going to have to rest sometime sooner rather than later. He takes the aggressive route and goes for Surf. Making it awkward here. DD Mence has a chance to win this game for sure. In fact, I think Fakes probably will win the game on the back of the DD Mence. It gets roared again, but who cares? We're about to hit a point when the Swampert dies where roaring it out is no longer an option. Goes for the Surf. Doesn't seem to have Earthquake, but roar again. Star Master's priority here is not leaving the Salamence with a Dragon Dance. Let's do a quick health check while we have a brief pause. Meta's at 94%, but there's 3 spikes down, so DD boost and/or critical hit gonna be needed to deal with that. He might fodder Swampert here. No, he's gonna Dragon Dance up, so we've got ourselves a 50-50 here. If the meta can survive the EQ, which it probably can. Fakes has to decide whether or not Star is going to boom this turn. And the whole game is going to come down to this ultimately. But it's anticlimactic because the meta cannot live the Earthquake. Not sure what the role was there, but meta not going to survive. And I think the vast majority of the time it wasn't going to survive there with most spreads. And now I believe this Scarm, it hasn't shown it, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have Toxic. I think this is going to go the way of Fakes, as I said. Maybe if he dodges Rock Slide here and connects with Toxic, all of a sudden I think Star wins that game. But I don't actually think he has Toxic. He could also dodge a Rock Slide, roar out the Swampert, get rid of the DD boost, and make it interesting. So this game's not over yet. That fodder for Coon is just to get lefties on Skarmory here. There's no other purpose. Rock Slide 36%, he survives. But as we discussed, he does not have Toxic, and I don't see a way out anymore. Drill Peck is not going to suffice. Hidden Power there, sure. Maybe if he dodges a couple of Rock Slides, he would need to dodge, get hit, dodge again, and then crit or something to that effect. Stranger things have happened. Rock Slide is a high variance move. 90%, that means you're going to miss sometimes. Hey, approximately 10% of the time, according to my math. Not over, but very, very likely game 1 going to go to Fakes from this position. Failed Protect, and that Rock Slide will end it. The Salamence, unless it is some really weird EV spread, is going to be faster than Dugtrio now. EQ or HP Flying, either one will suffice. He opts for Earthquake, and that is the game 1 victory for Fakes. Star lamenting in the comments that he did not keep Rock Slide on his Dugtrio, and it potentially could have mattered in this matchup. Fair enough. Game 1 to Fakes, and we will wait for Game 2. These guys are both pretty get in there, get her done. They're veterans. They're not scared. They're prepared. I anticipate there's not going to be too much of a delay between Game 1 and Game 2. But should Fakes win Game 2 or Game 3, if we go there, that's actually going to be 3 match losses in a row. 4 match losses in a row. Going back to CI5, actually, for Star Master, which is crazy for how consistent he is. But we are looking at a scenario where if he, like I said, if he loses one of these next 2 games, it'll be 4 CI match losses in a row for a player that at one point was one of the absolute best ADVers in the world. Very well still may be. I don't know how much he plays the tier now, but I would never underestimate or count out Star. That is for damn sure. But that being said, he's got his back against the wall and is going to need 2 in a row against the extremely capable Fakes in order to not have lost 4 CI matches in a row, which is a crazy thing to say about somebody as good and consistent as Star Master. And it's not really applicable here because, like I said, the predictions are very divided, and there's not a clear favorite and a clear underdog here. I think on any given day, either of these guys could smash the other one. They're both just so good. But the predictions really have not meant anything up to this point. It has been underdog victory after underdog victory. Big names falling left and right. So, I mean, no matter how it goes here, it's going to be somebody good. But we have a monstrous losers bracket. Sorry, lower bracket. Don't want to hurt feelings. A monstrous lower bracket already. And, man, one of these guys is going to be in it too. It's going to be a rough go for somebody. Don't you guys worry. I got my eyes open, waiting for Game 2 to begin. There are a bunch of other games going on the Smog Tours website at the moment. The RBY Invitational, actually, the third or fourth year in a row, is going on as we speak. So let me just give them a little bit of a plug. Emma is someone who's been very supportive of this tournament and someone who I really appreciate and like as a person. So definitely, Emma is running that tour, and if you have any interest in RBY, you should absolutely ask me about the Discord for that, and I will send you a link. It's accepting donations just as I am. I guess I'll plug that in as my reminder. We're doing really well on donations, actually. We're up to almost $2,000 right now in the middle of round 1, which is really, really good. 2,600 would beat last year's record. Really want to do that so we can keep growing year over year. And if we can get 3K plus, I will be thrilled and feel really good about that as well. But yeah, the RBY Invitational, for those of you interested in Gen 1, is also going on right now and also accepting donations. So if you want to check that out, Emma's a very good host as well. So if you want to check that out, absolutely ask me for a link and I'd be happy to give you one. Absolutely show that tournament and show Emma the support that is deserved. Well, I'm wrong about a lot of things. What else is new? Seemingly I'm incorrect again about the time in between games. Let me just real quick on my phone make sure there's not some unexpected issue. Not seeing anyone in my Discord server being like, oh, I need 10 minutes or whatever. So I assume Game 2 should be any moment. I'm surprised it hasn't started yet, but hey, maybe someone needs to use the toilet or walk their dog or grab food or whatever it may be. But we should be starting momentarily. And I already killed the time with the important stuff. I talked about their records, I talked about the stakes, talked about donations, which we're going to be accepting all the way up until the end of the tour, all the way up to the grand finals. But hey, don't wait. If you got the money now, the sooner you send it, the better. Your donation encourages other people to donate. It's a big snowball effect, and we hit the goal. Like I said, we're already almost at 2K, so I think ending the tournament 26 or north, super duper feasible, super within reason. And we've got Game 2. Total departure this time for Fakes. This is not a TSS team. Jinx lead, basically universally, very, very offensive, and I think that's what we're looking at here. Zapdos could be anything. It could be Superman, it could be TSS, it could be Fori, it could be, a mixed offense. It could be just about anything. It could be Zapdug. Doesn't tell you much of anything, but we have an Ice Beam and a Thunder Wave as the opening moves here. The Ice Beam, obviously, with the high special attack stat of Jinx and the stab behind it, is going to do a ton. And then T-Wave is really bad for Jinx because it's very, very fragile. And, yeah, being paralyzed, not like a literal death sentence, but pretty close as far as Jinx is concerned. Fakes actually switched it up and went for Lovely Kiss rather than the second Ice Beam there, which is a play that I totally understand and respect as in general. However, in this particular case, not faulting him for it, I very well may have done the same thing, but in this particular case, it's actually going to work out worse for him. He could have killed the Zapdos there had he connected with Ice Beam. He actually put the Zapdos to sleep, so Zapdos is not going to be doing much of anything unless it immediately wakes later and does something. It might not even get the chance. It might just get foddered off, but we've got a low and sleeping Zapdos right now, and a half-health paralyzed Jinx. Not prepared to give it up for free. He switches it up to Gar. Maybe a Fire Punch or something along those lines is about to come down, or a Body Slam, either one. But instead, it is CM, and that's going to immediately make Fakes probably a little bit nervous. He might just click Explosion here and follow up with Dugtrio. Jinx teams always have Dugtrio, not literally, but like damn close. Very common lead sequencing is you basically end up trading with Tar via the Dugtrio. And yeah, he does just go straight for Boom as predicted. Wants no part of this Rachi. Whether it's CM Wish 2 attacks, whether it is CM sub 2 attacks, whether it's CM 3 attacks, doesn't matter, all bad. Wants nothing to do with it. And this is looking like CM spam, actually, for Star Master. This very well may be something close to the very well-known ABR CM spam team that has been used a bazillion times in tournaments with great success. And Regice, actually, is a strong poke against CM spam. It's not like Aerodactyl DD-Ments tier, which are absolute terrorists, but it's pretty damn good. And there's yet another Boom. This time it's going to connect with Swampert, but it depends on the follow-up here. I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know that Dugtrio actually gets him here. Starmie going to go for Surf and get way bigger Surfed back. When he went to Starmie, I started wondering, man, does he have HP Grass or some bullshit? Here's the Jinx fodder. What's the plan? You're going to go to Dugtrio now. It only has 1 less % than what it had before. But apparently that is enough. There is the Earthquake, and Fakes kind of sort of hanging on, but gotta like Star Master's position in this one. It is a little bit closer than it looks, though. It says that it's 4-3, but remember that the Zapdos is sleeping in low. It is basically dead. So we've got ourselves a 3-3 effectively. Here comes Zard. And that would have needed to have been a Rock Slide or an Agility for Fakes. Now he's going to have to get a Fire Blast miss. And that may not even be an option. It might just be Flamethrower. And we've got some problems if we're Fakes. I don't know, though. He might be obligated to stay in here. The Starmie Doug combo might be the only way to beat the Zard. Maybe Doug has Rock Slide and can outspeed and kill it that way. But obviously if it gets behind a sub, that's not going to be an option. So he's going to fodder the Doug, and it is Fire Blast rather than Flamethrower. Starmie, I don't know. I guess he does kill even with the special defense boost there. It's possible that it's a minus special defense nature on the Zard if it were running something like Focus Punch, for example. So that leaves us in a 3-2, air quotes. But again, Zapdos, low and sleeping. Meta only showed us Mash, which tells us basically nothing. Agility is definitely the ideal set for him here. And Star Master not happy with the way that he played that. He, as I did, thought that there was a chance that it would survive there, as he says in the comments. But I don't know if that was a really good roll, or if it's an off star for Fakes, or if Star assumed incorrectly that it was a neutral nature as far as special defense is concerned, but he's actually running a minus special defense nature. That would obviously mess with the calc if so. But yeah, Star played this game apparently, and I don't think he's lying or bluffing. There's no reason to. He's kicking himself. He played this game under the assumption that the Zard was going to live there. As we see, it obviously did not. I was also mildly surprised. I thought for sure there was a good shot that it could live there. It was probably a roll, but shoulda, coulda, woulda does not matter. It was a non-crit, and the Zard did not live. So here we are, and Star Master's in the tank. He's taken over a minute trying to figure out what to do. Still hasn't shown his last, and it's not the traditional ABR team, so I mean, Doug as the last makes sense, but he would have already done it. If it were Dugtrio, you just click Earthquake twice. Simple as that. So it's not Zap Doug. They're having a bit of a conversation here, but Fakes locked in his move long ago. He's going to show the calc. And Star even specifies that he's not minus special defense. Huh. Yeah, must have been a really good roll then. There we go. It is last poke Tyranitar here. DD Tar would get it done. If he does not get T-Waved, and/or he's Lum, and/or he survives the Surf, he could Dragon Dance here, or he could just kill the Starmie, which is probably even better. Yep. And then he could just Earthquake the meta, and then as long as he doesn't get crit, I think he's good. Raise could also be an issue, but it doesn't come. And now Celebi needs to have Leech Seed recover and/or HP Fire. Alternatively, Zapdos could just wake up and ruin Fake's life here. So outcome unclear in this game. It depends on the set for both. We've seen Calm Mind BP, so it's not going to be Leech Seed recover. So yeah, I think he just HP Fires twice and avoids a critical hit. I think that's the play. I think you click HP Fire, meta mashes you, and as long as you don't get crit, we're off to game 3. Oh, he doesn't have HP Fire. It's just Leech Seed. Well, that's risky business. Leech Seed there could have missed and made this real tough. What the fuck hidden power is that? What hidden power is that? Neutral hidden power. Is this the Ferdazi set? Is that fucking HP Electric? Is that what we're looking at here? That is some weird shit. This is a new age thing, which Ferdazi is a big HP Electric Celebi fan. Not a set that I'm a fan of, man. But, man, that crit's going to bail him out, as it turns out. We know that it's not HP Fire. Would have been super effective. We know that it's not HP Grass. Would have been super duper resisted. It is janky ass HP Electric. Not a set that I'm a big fan of, but there it is, HP Electric. The critical hit does end up mattering there. Had it not happened, the Metagross would be alive, and then it would come down to the meta on Zapdos, which depends on the sets for both. Leech Seed was a factor, so if it's a non-Rock Slide meta, maybe it couldn't kill the Zapdos without a crit. Alternatively, the Zapdos could just wake up, click Thunderbolt, that's that. There's a couple ways this could have gone. Tight endgame here, kind of janky. Star not thrilled with the way he played it, and I don't think he played it perfectly either, though I do think that that was a favorable damage roll with the Surf on the Zard, as they discussed. But, you know, again, we could do the shoulda, woulda, coulda, and the speculation, and the odds, and all that stuff all day. The only thing that matters is what did happen, and the reality is we are going to a Game 3. A little bit of a chit-chat here. Fake's feeling like he's robbed. Hopefully he does not tilt going into this third game. He's played pretty well so far, and if he can keep his head in it and continue playing well, then he'll have a good shot in the third game. Both players have mixed it up. Neither one has been... I mean, it's only been 2 games, but they both did a 180. They both started in game 1, as we could see here, with a balanced team. I was going to say sand balance, but started and actually bring sand. But like a defensive-ish leaning, mid-rangey balanced squad. And then we go over here, and they have both switched up to obviously offensive teams here. Jinx Boom offense, Triple Boom, Jinx offense here with Doug. And then a little CM pass action going on for Star Master. There's a lot of players in this that I'll use as a nice term, I'll say, are on the narrow side. Not saying they're bad, not saying they can't build, whatever. They have rather narrow preferences. These are not, in either case, these guys are not those players. These guys can absolutely both bring anything. They could bring full-on balls to the walls offense, slow as dick, do nothing stall, or anything in between. And the players are now chatting in my Discord server, which, fine, but like, can we maybe do that after the match? We could talk about Game 2 after, you see, but we still have to resolve Game 3. 1-1, not an acceptable outcome, you see. God, HP Electric Celebi. Why are people listening to Ferdazi? He's like 12. Also, what is the, this should be a trivia bot question, I should know this, but what's the base power of Shockwave? Is it 60? Is that why? I was going to say, why wouldn't you use Shockwave instead, but is HP Electric, is it more base power? Is that the deal? The selling point, apparently, straight from Ferdazi, is that it hits Moltres, Skarmory, Suicune in one, but I still don't like it, and I still don't buy it. But here we go. Back to the matter at hand. Fakes and Star Game 3. Fakes has changed it up again and gone for Fori, which is basically always a stall team. Fori heavy offense is basically an oxymoron. So we're opting for a Fori stall and TBD for Star Master here. Salamence Skarm could be a number of things. We'll see how it plays out. All 3 layers of spikes have been established, but lots and lots of chip has occurred on the Fori. And Zap Cannon is a 50-50. He says heads, it's tails. However, on the next turn, he wins the coin flip. 1 out of 2 seems fair to me. So here we are, pretty fast couple turns. That leaves us in a state where there are 3 layers beneath Star's team, but he very well may have a spinner. There is 1 layer beneath Fake's team, but his Fori has taken a lot of damage and is down to just 31%. And finally, the Skarmory, at least for now, is paralyzed. That's where it leaves us. So here's Bliss, and it wouldn't surprise me if she has Wish. Goes for Thunderbolt, however. Had the Skarm stayed in, that is obviously super effective. Instead, we end up with Bliss on Bliss, reminiscent of Game 1. And it is not a Wish Bliss, it is a Calm Mind Bliss, who manages to not fall asleep when her counterpart tries to sing her a lullaby. She avoids it twice, but out of the way, going to try to sing the Fori instead. And that's going to miss for a 3rd time, and Star Master that time, I think, is thankful that he missed, because Fakes wanted that to hit the Fortress. And the reason for that, for those of you who don't know, is because if it had hit the Fortress, it means that he couldn't sing something else later because of Sleep Clause. So now Skarm is in. Double Steel is about as stally as it gets. Short of Dusclops teams, this is about as stally as it gets. So Fakes is going to try to grind this one out. This is not going to be a quick game, almost certainly. And Star really seemed unconcerned about those spikes. He just sat there and let him set him up over and over and over again. He didn't have taunt or anything to prevent it. He's certainly playing. For those of you who want to practice your team reading, it seems like damn near a 100% chance in my mind that Star Master is going to have a spinner in the back. He's certainly played in such a way where he is representing that he has a spinner in the back. Fakes is going to need a rock resist somewhere. He hasn't shown one of those yet. Yes, Milo is a bulky water, but it's not the world's greatest bulky water, specifically when we're talking about going against the Tyranitar here. And man, so we have double spike or double spinner coming for Fakes as he shows Claydol. I was wondering if there was going to be a Claydol here, but then I'm like, I don't know. He's already got Fori Skarm. Does Doll really make sense here? But Doll is the common partner with Milotic, so yeah, I guess it's Doll. This is a very, very, very stally for Fakes. And hey, like I predicted, there is a Starmie here. Figured that would be the case. Like I said, got to learn to team read. The way that Star was playing made that very, very obvious that he was not concerned about the spikes and clearly had a spinner in the back. And now we know what spinner that is. Unsurprisingly, good old Starmie. Probably just last poke Swampert for Star. Could be Metagross, but it's gonna be a rock resist for sure. And there's only so many things that fit. Jirachi, a lesser possibility, but Swampert, Metarachi in order of likelihood, in my view. And it very well might just be last poke Doug for Fakes. Both the Fori and the Doll may have Boom to give that a little bit of a boost as well. Here comes Fori trying to sneak in, but Blissey obviously can be faster here and just click S-Toss. Not really a lot that Fori could do here. A Rapid Spin is going to have to come down from Claydol if it has that, which, you know, you never bring non-spin Claydol, even on these double spinner teams. So I'm going to say that Claydol does have Rapid Spin. But if he can get that off later, then maybe he could nurse the Fori back to health. But I think Star's in pretty good shape in this game. The Fori is very low. The spike is down beneath Fakes' team. No meaningful progress has been made for Fakes. Ment's at 100. I mean, Skarm paralyzed, but who cares, and otherwise healthy. Bliss at 100, T-Tar at 88%. Starmie's at half, I guess, but, like, it has this cool move called Recover, and it makes it recover its HP, see? So I'm not too worried about that either. In fact, I bet he clicks it here. Man, I'm good at this. I like Star Master's position here for sure. I would never count Fakes out, but I think Star is considerably ahead right now and is in good shape to avoid that humiliating 4 CI matches in a 4 CI match losses in a row that we had been discussing in between the game 1 and 2 and the intermission there. I think it's last poke Doug for Fakes, which is okay in this matchup. Hits T-Tar, hits Starmie, hits Blissey, all with an asterisk. I mean, under various circumstances. It's also threatened by those Mons, but... And it doesn't always one-hit KO those Mons either, but... Under the right circumstances, it can do something against those. It is a bulky Star with T-Wave, which is my personal favorite variety of Starmie, but to each their own. And T-Wave again. Paralysis on Blissey, not a big deal. We know that it has neither Heal Bell Aromatherapy or Wish because it's a CM set. So it can't support the team by removing status, nor can it pass a Wish to the Ailing Fortress here. And he's going to go to it yet again. I'm not clear what he keeps trying to get it in on. It feels like the thing he should be getting in is Claydol to get a rapid spin off, and if he's going to try to get the Fori going, that would be the way. I think the reason he brought it in there maybe was because he wanted to get it hit with Sing. I think he wants that to be his sleep fodder. But now he's not going to be able to do that because Fori will die next time it comes into the spike, I believe. Right? Am I... Yeah, he's going to die to the spike. So... Fakes is going to have to get a rapid spin at some point. Got a couple Calm Minds going, but the opposing Bliss truly undeterred here. Sing is eventually going to hit, and there it is. This is dangerous, though, because when whatever switches in, if the Bliss were to immediately wake, like right there, Thunderbolt would have done a lot, actually, had it woken up and done it. Instead, it's going to be a switch to Skarm, and the last poke, Rock Resist, like we discussed, is revealed. Metagross from Star. And one layer each, very briefly, but it's about to be rapid spun away. I think the team that Fakes is playing is probably better against something a little more offensive leaning. I think against something sturdy, like the team that Star Master has, where he's got 2 bulky pokes with Recover, and... I mean, Skarm is also bulky, even if it doesn't have Recover. Basically, the point is, I think it's going to be hard for Fakes to actually kill stuff. I think Star's team holds up pretty well. Now, Fakes obviously knew when he was bringing this, and let's not miss the lucky 10% Thunderbolt power on the tower there, by the way. But I think that when Fakes brought this, he obviously knew that it was going to take a long time to kill stuff. He was going to have to grind out the game. It was going to be slow. It was going to be methodical. He's obviously not in a rush, and that's fine. But you're kind of gambling when you bring this kind of team. It's just kind of inherently built in something of a matchup fish. There's just going to be some matchups, whether you know, I'm not saying he was trying to fish against Star, like, oh, Star's definitely going to bring this, I'm going to counter him. I don't think it's like that, but when you bring this kind of team, inherently, some matchups are just going to be easier than others. It's just the way it is. What the fuck hidden power is that? Hidden power not very effective against Starmie. So it's not flying, and it's not ground either. It's not bug. What hidden power is that? Is that hidden power fighting? That might be hidden power fighting from the Skarmory for Fakes. Try to punish Bliss or catch a T-Tar by surprise or what have you. I think that's HP fighting. Alright, cute little piece of tech there. Did not land on its intended target, but HP fighting, baby. How about that? Couple protects later. No, he doesn't go for the second protect, actually. Gonna say a couple protects later. He's got the full health Scarm, but he'll settle for the 94% Scarm as Bliss comes in. And gonna begin combining up. Fakes has found what he thinks is his out, which is to combine up until the other Bliss sings, which it eventually will hit, like here. And then try to set up turns where you wake up and you nail stuff with CM boosts. So right now, boom, Thunderbolt. That's the idea anyway, but requires pretty specific variants since you've got to wake up. Hey, it wakes up now via Natural Cure. And we've got Mence on Scarm, back to a hundo. Here's Milo, very reliable check for Mence. And it's not an offensive Mence at all. I guess it still could be, but it goes for Wish. And gonna pass that to the Cheetar, who is paralyzed, but otherwise healthy. Now Bliss is in, and it's a Toxic predicting that. Obviously you wouldn't Toxic into something that is paralyzed unless you think it's gonna switch. Here comes Doll. And Doll on Starmie, so Doll will get some lefties out of it, but not much else. Now we're back to Bliss. Comes in on Surf, no problem. Obvious soft-boiled turn coming, and we'll see how Starmaster wants to respond. Metagross makes sense to me, and the loop has been that this prompts in Skarmory. Don't see too much of a reason to change that now. And there she is. Meteor Mash wide and left. Here comes Starmie. And Spikes, respectively. Could be shaping up for a longer game here. Certainly looks like they are two sturdier teams that are in no rush to kill anything. We might be here for a minute, boys. Rapid Spin coming down. And T-Bolt, that's one way out of the game. T-Bolt right there critting the Starmie. All of a sudden, this game is much, much, much harder for Starmaster than it needs to be. And he is risking it. Man, a crit here would completely change things. I don't like this for Star. I would get the fuck out of the way. And he does that now. But man, if that Starmie goes down, totally changes everything. Fakes will get 3 spikes up. Star can't do anything about it. And Fakes will grind out this game and win for sure if the Starmie were to go down with Thunderbolt there or anytime soon. So would not push my luck if I were Star Master. I definitely agree with getting out of the way. And it's getting a little dicey here. 2 layers of spikes now. He's exploiting him. If he roars or attacks here, oh, he goes for the 3rd spike. Missed opportunity for Fakes. But he's not going to let it recover. He fodders off Fori and follows up with Dugtrio. So it works out the same. Starmie's going to go down here and it will not be able to rapid spin. Fakes makes excellent use of his fodder here. The Fori that had been sitting there basically dead for a long time. All of a sudden, he makes perfect use of his fodder. Uses it to kill the Starmie. And this is going to get ugly real fast. Mixed Mence it is, but Milotic can come in, and Fakes executing perfectly. He wants the Milo to come in with 0 spikes. He wants to take 0 chances, so that's exactly what he does. He gets a bunch of damage on the doll just to get a rapid spin off. Then he gets the Milotic in safely on the Mixed Mence, which is an excellent counter, and all of a sudden this is looking very, very difficult for Star Master. A masterclass of piloting by Fakes, one of the best ADV pilots ever, and you can see why. He lets the Claydol go, but who cares? What a sequence for Fakes. It looks like he's behind, but I don't know that he actually is. I think this is now going to be a tough game for Star Master to win. I think that was really well executed for Fakes. However, we have to note that if the Skarmory gets layers off, which he may here, then Fakes can no longer remove those either, and it's relevant, but there's a big wake. Oh, it teased me. I saw the wake. I thought he woke organically, but he waked via Natural Cure instead. Here comes Bliss. And there is Toxic. Got an exciting back and forth game here as we are approaching turn 100. Surf there with a relevant crit. Had Star done anything other than soft-boiled, Blissey would be dead and we would be in a completely different game state. But the aggression going to continue. The Surfs don't do much, but it's his best bet in this moment. He was not able to sneak Dugtrio in on the soft-boiled turn. That would have been really good, but he doesn't do it. Here comes Salamence. That eats a Surf. Got to be careful about that eating a Toxic as well. Here's the Wish. And Toxic wide and left for Fakes. Unlucky. But Starmaster says F a little bit later. They must be ahead of us in real time. I'm unclear what happened, but I can't wait to see. Turn 100 now. Wish connecting on Bliss. Toxic miss definitely relevant there. Salamence definitely does not want to deal with that. Here comes Bliss. Here comes S-Toss. Probable soft-boiled turn. We've passed turn 100 here. This is a nail-biter game 3, and it is a grind. Singh going to connect without any Combine boosts here. Unclear who's going to win anybody's game. Here comes Skarm. And again, there's no immediate wake, but it could wake up and get him. Maybe this is the F turn. Maybe he wakes up and Thunderbolts him. There you go. That would, in fact, elicit an F. And that is exactly where that came down. So we've got ourselves a 4-4. Still unclear who's going to win this game. Mash here with opportunities if he gets raises to be really punishing. Doesn't find one here. Protect comes down. Mash again. Meteor Mash PP doesn't matter very often, but it might end up mattering in this game. Wide and left yet again. And there's the Roar. Cheetar comes down. We've seen Focus Punch, Earthquake. Probably just 4 attacks. There it is again, but he doesn't go for what I thought was HP fighting to disrupt Focus Punch there. And Fakes bailed by a full para. A Focus Punch there with a crit especially could have been ugly. Instead, he again Toxics into a paralyzed poke, knowing there would be a switch. Salamence now poisoned, and I like Fakes' position in this battle now for sure. And I felt that Star was significantly ahead earlier in this battle. It shows that either I know nothing, which is probable, or that Fakes is that damn good. But this has been back and forth, and I now like Fakes to win this game, most likely. Here comes Blissey into the 3 layers of spikes. Surf there, whatever, 14%. But nothing can prevent the Toxic that's about to come down. And indeed, that is going to connect. That's going to force something else to come in to either a Surf or a Toxic. I guess it wouldn't be Toxic at this point because Meta's immune. Mence is already poisoned. Cheetar's already paralyzed, so I guess you just fling Surfs at things. Here comes the Mence into the Blissey. If it does anything at all here, if it tries to pass a Wish, it's going to get Ice Beamed down. And that is what he goes for. Bliss on Bliss action yet again. One of these things not like the other. Star needs to soft-boil here, and I'm sure that he will. There is Combine. 4-4 game. 116 turns and counting in Game 3, Round 1 of CALLOUS Invitational 7. The final CALLOUS Invitational. There is S-Toss trying to get some chip on the Bliss before singing to it. Singh comes down. He's been pretty accurate with those, I feel. For the garbage, 55% worse than Hypnosis base accuracy. He's been hitting those pretty good. If Star is to win this game, it's going to involve Metagross here. He's going to need attack raises. Here comes Scar. Mash, 16%. No raise, however. And the Skarm is going to protect here. No! He's going to stay in and just roar. And Mash misses there. Drags out the Salamence that we know no, we might not know, but it probably has a fire attack. Wish, Protect, Dragon Claw could also be last move Toxic. It is a fire attack. It is Fire Blast. So good thing he didn't push his luck there. That would have fried the Skarmory. But my Milotic now knows that it is completely safe. Gonna go for Surf to push it on the Salamence. It's not going to be able to stay in and eat its own Wish here. Oh, man. Risky business. I guess it is going to eat its own Wish, but it is going to be very low when the dust settles. Just at a third right now and still poisoned. Has to get out of the way. The Wish does kick in before the poison damage, which is why he was able to do that at all, even if it wasn't the most profitable thing. And now Skarm comes in, and Bliss going to go for soft-boiled. It's a grind, and they are fighting the good fight, but I think, man, it's not HP fighting. What the fucking power is that? What hidden power is that? I'm too stupid to figure it out at this moment. Not very effective again. God, is it HP Fire? Is that what we're looking at here? No, it can't be, because it would have done... It's got to be a physical hidden power. I'm blanking on it. It's not HP fighting. It's physical. It's not very effective against Starmie. And it's neutral to Bliss. Hidden power... Steel? Is it hidden power steel? I don't know what the fuck it is, but Salamence has left the building, guys, and here comes Metagross now. Skarmory has been the consistent answer, but this time it's asleep. And there's the wish to get Meta back to full, so if he's going to win, it's going to be with Meta, but it is a short nap, unfortunately for Star, and fortunately for Fakes. Meteor Mash yet again. Let me do a quick check on PP. 5 left. Cutting it close. Sing misses crucially. And Roar drags out Tyranitar. Yeah, Hidden Power Steel all along. Thought that was HP fighting. Hidden Power Steel, baby. Why miss with Steel Wing when you can connect with Hidden Power Steel? Man, if only Skarm learned Meteor Mash, huh? That's risky with the Bliss there. It actually, he must have anticipated the switch, because Focus Punch there would have bopped him, but Fakes is all over it. He's just that good of a pilot. Alright, here we go. Metagross or bust. Agility actually is the ideal set here. If it's not Agility, I think he's in trouble. And he shows Protect. Okay, making sure I'm not dumb. That is the first time that it did that. But yeah, if it's not Agility, I think he's in trouble, because Blissy's going to get a Thunderbolt off on it. Dugtrio's going to follow up, and even if Metagross lives, which it now won't because of the critical hit, but even if it lives, Milo would be faster and be able to finish the job here as well. Starmaster playing to his outs, and that crit mattered, but I believe this is going to go to Fakes. And Fakes knows better. He's never going to soft-boiled here. He's just going to keep attacking. Here comes Doug. Going to need many, many Protects in a row to have a chance here. And Star dissatisfied with his play. Distracted as hell IRL, he says, before conceding. And what a grindy and exciting marathon 143 turn Game 3. But it's got to be Fakes with the W. Starmaster, the most consistent player in CI history, has somehow lost 4 CI matches in a row dating back to CI 5. He is not happy with his play. Distracted as fuck IRL, he says. But Fakes is going to take full advantage of it. Take down Game 3 and take down the set. I don't want to give you spoilers for what happened in the other games, but boy, the lower bracket is a scary, scary place. 2-1 victory for Fakes. This set takes nearly an hour in real life. Going to be a good one to listen to on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it live just as much as I did. There is lots more Callous Invitational content still to come, and I hope you guys watch. If you like this video, please do hit the like button. Leave me a comment, tell me what you thought, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.